was a great championships. I think the British team did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won a lot of medals, and it was my first European title. I think at the first round I jumped 1781, which was probably going to be good enough to win it.
Yep.
And then in the last round I jumped 1799. So I always remember that 1 centimetre short of 18 metres, but the crowd was great. I've got this picture of me wearing a big silly British hat.
Yeah.
It was a big sort of floppy hat I got from one of the crowd. It was a great atmosphere, and of course Hungary has always loved its athletics. It's a very knowledgeable crowd,
and
it was a great success.
The city itself?
No, I don't remember the city at all, because when I came to compete I was always so nervous that I would only focus on the athletics, not on sightseeing. But interestingly, my son, my younger son, he's 24, he came to Budapest last year with his friends, and he's a huge fan. He said it's been the best city he's been to recently, and he goes on a lot of city breaks, but he thought Budapest was fantastic. So I think you have to go back one more year to 1993, because that was my big breakthrough year. I jumped 17 metres, I think 70 wind assisted, in Edinburgh in the cold, and then I went to Stuttgart and got a bronze medal in the World Championships. And in '94 I was ill.
Yep.
I had a virus, and then post-viral syndrome, so I wasn't in good shape at all. But then I didn't expect in my whole career to ever jump the way that I jumped in '95, when I started with a British record, I think in Loughborough, by 1 centimetre, 1758, but it was cold and wet. And then I jumped 1843 in Lille in the Europa Cup. And that was obviously the big change, to go from 1750 essentially to 1850. So after that I knew that I could break the world record.
Yeah, you were surprised? Yeah?
I was surprised in Lille, but after that I knew that I can jump over 18 metres and on the right day break the world record. And then I broke it in Salamanca, but just 1 centimetre, 1798 from 1797 of Willie Banks. And it was Gothenburg where I finally went over 18 metres, and then over 60 feet with my second jump, 60 feet, quarter of an inch. So it was an incredible year, and as I say, I don't think I ever believed that I would be the person who would jump so far. My athletics and my faith were very closely linked.
Yep.
And I believed that any ability that I had ultimately came from God, and so it was an outworking of my faith, my athletics, and trying to do well in it. And I think when I retired from athletics, then I had a freedom maybe to question my faith that I didn't have when I was competing. So I think it was retirement from athletics which prompted me to evaluate my faith, and quite simply I stopped believing in God. I wasn't disillusioned with the church or with any aspect of Christianity. I just decided I didn't believe in God anymore, and that was that. Much happier, I think, in myself.
Really?
Without that belief. Or certainly very comfortable with that belief. I don't feel that I miss my faith, and I'd love to go back to it, but I can't. And I feel very at ease with how I feel now. I think I was probably quicker than anybody else.
Yeah.
I was very fast.
Yeah.
And then you look at the jumpers now, none of them are as light as me. I was 72 kilos.
Yeah.
And you look at the other jumpers, and they're maybe more 75 to 80, even up to 85 kilos. Yeah. So they're a lot bigger. So this allowed me to be very light on my feet through the phases. And as a result, I slowed down less. So I carry more speed through the phases. So I think in my world record in Gothenburg, my last phase was nearly 7 metres, because I carried so much speed through, and my time on the ground I think is probably a little bit less than everybody else. So I think the key thing was my speed and my ability to maintain that speed through the 3 phases. Progression, obviously I have a great deal of understanding about athletics and the sporting world, and it's good to be able to use that in the media. And obviously I've developed my skills in trying to present not just television but also events as well, and moderating at conferences, and it's just a new career, and that's what every athlete has to do. They have to reinvent themselves when they retire from
a problem
sports.
anyway.
It's not an easy thing to do. when you've been very good at something, and then you're your mid-30s, and then you have to try and find a new career.
New career, yeah.
But I've been very lucky. I've had great opportunities, and it's gone well. So yeah, I've enjoyed my media career, and indeed my post-athletics career. I mean, not least being involved with London 2012.
Yeah.
And to be on the organising committee and to be a big part of that was a huge privilege. So I think family is the most important thing, and then I enjoy cycling and playing golf. Those are my hobbies. And I like watching sport. I think now more I like watching sport than but everything. Yeah. I think I enjoy watching sport more than maybe reporting on sport.
Really?
It's quite nice to be more relaxed, to sit on the sofa and to be an armchair critic and to be a supporter, which is good. It's a different stage of life, and I think I'm ready to slow down a bit.